Hello, welcome to another 2-Minute Tips Tuesday, and today we're looking at 5 books every practicing youth worker should read. These are not the only 5 books you should read, they're not even necessarily the best books, but they're highly practical and they give you a really broad brushstroke for what you should be doing in youth work to start off with. The first one will be no surprise to people who've seen me before, Christian Youth Work by Mark Haston and Phil Moon. It's 35 years old, but gives you a good basis for biblical theology of young people and culture of young people. Even if it is 35 years old, it's still brilliant. Number 1. Number 2, Mark Yaconelli, Contemplative Youth Ministry. This is a book that emphasizes the spiritual journey that young people are on, and it takes seriously young people needing to take ownership over their own faith, particularly in their prayer language and their personal communication with God and His presence. Very much worth reading. The third one, and this is an either family-based youth ministry or sustainable youth ministry, both by the same author, Mark Travis. And what Mark's talking about is how do you make young people's work a family experience within the wider body of Christ. So how do we bring church and young people and children and family all back together under a single integrated heading? This is not just another intergenerational or multi-generational youth work theory book. It's practical. How do you do youth ministry and bring the family along with you? Number 4, Doug Field's Your First 2 Years in Youth Ministry. It's really American and it's really aimed at least in the UK, larger youth groups. But what's in this is lots of very practical priorities, how you should spend your time, how you should develop your team, how to prioritize participation, how do you manage your own time, how do you look after conflict. It's a very practical and useful book for first-time youth leaders. And finally, book 5, and this is going to be cheeky, but it's my own book, Rebooted, Reclaiming Youth Ministry for the Long Haul. This outlines what I call a facilitated model of youth ministry. It goes through the whole Bible, Genesis to Revelation, and draws out principles for youth work. Most of them, in my opinion, are aimed at a youth worker being an enabler or a facilitator or a trainer or an equipper of the rest of the church body to work with young people. So I think that's well worth the read as well. A few notable mentions very quickly. Steve Griffiths, Models for Youth Ministry. Dave Fenton, Growing Up, one of the best youth work books you've never heard of. It's fantastic. Mike McGarry's Biblical Theology of Youth Ministry. Stronan Jones and Rom, Youth Ministry that Transforms. Tim Hawkins, Fruit That Will Last. Particularly for the UK, Martin Saunders, Youth Work from Scratch, very practical. And I haven't got a copy here, but also Andy Defoe's Looking Good Naked. Hopefully that's useful. 2 minutes, 5 books you should absolutely read. This wasn't 2 minutes, was it? See you next time.